Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to part 2 of the Metroid 2 Return of Samus playthrough. That's right. It's
Oh, who are you kidding? Welcome back to part 2 of Genocide.
All right. Well, it's actually it's funny. It's because it's the game. Everyone pronounces the game as like Metroid 2: The Return of Samus. It's actually there's no the in there. It's Return of Samus, as in it's like Return of Ganon in Zelda 2. So someone previously killed Samus in the last game, and then Ridley died, and they used his blood to rejuvenate Samus, and this is the result of that.
Was that Dracula now?
No, more like a horrible NES joke gone wrong.
Or maybe you're just overthinking it. Maybe Samus just went away to the store real quick.
Okay, I'll buy that. But one of the new upgrades that in Metroid 2 introduces, as we just used right there, is the Spider Ball. A neat concept, really awkward to control at times.
Explain.
Because you activate the Spider Ball by going into the Morph Ball mode and hitting down in one additional time. That activates it. And then
Climb up walls.
you climb up walls with it. But the problem is that you have to continuously hold down the left or right on the D-pad to continuously move in one direction. That gets thrown for a loop the moment you start going vertically. Because sometimes the controller will jam, and you have to keep fidgeting with the D-pad to get yourself moving again. Not really bad until those 2 or 3 times where you have to be a little specific, or a little precise, I should say, to get that additional missile pack. I try my best not to, fuck up too much, but there are just times where I can't really help myself. But as you saw in the beginning of the part, Metroid 2 introduces save points.
Really?
You can save in this game. Yeah, there's no Metroid 1 only had that password feature.
How many slots do you have to save a game on?
3.
Oh, cool.
As you notice in the beginning of the playthrough, we saw the start menu,
Start 2.
and we saw Start 2. That is my second save file. Start 1 was the one I used the test playthrough for.
Oh, alright.
Now,
I'm surprised you were able to touch that missile head without blowing up.
it's only active when it's in my gun.
So what are we swimming in here, Greg?
This is water, despite what those Game Boy Goonies...
Space is water, huh? It's fascinating.
Despite what those Game Boy cronies might tell you, this is water. And honestly, it's a bit of an issue when it comes to playing this game on original Game Boy, because the color of water and lava is the exact same.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, Jesus.
And you can only really tell it's lava via its texture. Like lava
Well, if you
looks
have enough of a tell and texture, you should be alright.
lava. Yeah, it has a grainy texture, but it's not unlike say Super Mario Bros. 3 where it boils. It's static,
Okay.
so it can kind of throw you in for a loop. And since this is a 100% completion, I'm pretty much showing you where everything's at, and I'm surprised it wasn't as hard as I remembered it to be. At first, I thought this was going to be the one Metroid game was going to give me the hardest time to 100%. It turned out there's not that many items in the game.
Yeah, aside from the usual Metroid template, there's not much of it. Metroid never really changes much, so...
You only have 5 energy tanks in this game, compared to the first game, I think you're capped out at 6.
Right.
Though there are 6 energy tanks in this game. One, I think, strictly there just to refill your health in case you need it in an emergency. Since you start with 30 missiles right off of the bat instead of 0 like in the first game, there aren't as many missile expansions because, once again, you cap out at 250. Oh no, the original game you capped out at 255. In this one, you cap at 250.
Eggs?
The little containers, storage. Remember, we went to that Chozo statue, it wasn't holding anything. Because no one properly loaded that thing. But if we
Fucking
just
developers.
go to the Chozo's garage here, and we find the Various suit.
It's like a piece of mail that you forgot to open a year ago.
And for the first time, Samus gets her distinctive shoulders when she gets the Various suit in this game. And that was done because of the Game Boy limitations. Because, you remember in the original game, the Various suit only changed the color palette. You can't really show that off in a Game Boy game.
No.
So they gave her shoulders to make it distinctive, and they just stuck with that ever since. Personally, I love it.
Yeah.
Looks great.
It's iconic. You can't think of Samus Aran without the damn shoulders.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, that's called Zero Suit Samus, okay.
No, it's just shoulders don't make a person. Shoulders just make them strong.
Shoulders make the suit.
But did I make the person?
No, it's just a suit.
Ow. Wasn't there anything hidden down there?
No, I already got the hidden missile expansions there.
Alright.
You go down here for the Various suit.
Because you need those shoulder pads to do your job.
The Various suit isn't mandatory at all.
That green shit up there hurt you?
What green shit? Oh, the bramble? Yeah, that hurts. Selectively.
I noticed there.
Because I think in terms of how the Bramble's programmed, only the outer edges are considered hitboxes. If you somehow hit yourself and go inside the Bramble, it won't actually sap your health continuously like, say, lava would. So, yeah, I think you can get away with just shooting the outer edges. You can destroy the Bramble by shooting it. I think you can get away by shooting the edges of it and then just walking into the center like it ain't there in the first place.
Walking through the center like Walking through the center like
And I'm going to be making a detour here to kill some more. I think I am going after...
If you're going after Metroid, you're not making a detour. You're doing your job.
I think... No, because there are times where you can make a detour strictly for energy tanks or missile expansions, or an upgrade you don't have to go out of your way for. Because there are plenty of upgrades to get in this game, but a lot of them are not mandatory. But you want to get them anyway because, you know, just for the sake of being a better galactic warrior. And you gotta show Boba Fett who's boss. We'll show him leaving the answering machine on. Boba Fett, yeah. Oh. We'll show him leaving the answering machine on.
Make me come out here and do a man job.
No,
hey, how over that plant?
Yeah, you can. That's a red door. Can't tell by the color palette. But we got a new upgrade, and it's... Oh, it's cute. I'm gonna call it Arachnus.
Oh, it's a Metroid.
No, actually, this is just a SR3D8 inhabitant. Seems to be...
It sound... When you hit it, reminds me of the sound boss would make in Wario Land 1 when it got hit.
Oh, like everyone's a sheep in that game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. No, actually, that thing was hogging up our power-up. We just got a new ability, this jump ball. Now we can jump while in morph ball mode.
Huh.
I love it.
Okay.
Well, no, it's called the... No, Metroid Fusion calls it the jump ball. It's called the spring ball in this game and Super Metroid.
And the next time around, it's called the ball in the cup.
I have no retort for that. So, I know. But yeah, now since we have that, we no longer have to use Morph Ball bombs to bounce Samus up while she's in her Morph Ball state. And I see another enemy.
Same one, right?
I don't know why they do that periodically for select alpha Metroids. I mean, we've had like, I lost count at
Good shot.
5, where the alpha Metroid is already out of its shell, attached already, and then sometimes they just say, "Oh, look what's coming out! It's something you already fought before."
It's a Christmas present.
Happy birthday, Samus.
It's a surprise party that you already know.
That's not a surprise.
Exactly.
But I think we're on the midst of getting a new power-up that Metroid 2 also introduced. Metroid 2 does bring...
Screw attack?
Metroid 2 does bring up a lot of...
Oh, wave
oh, no, that's the wave beam. We got that in the last game. Metroid 2, you lied to me.
No, you lied
No,
to me.
more like I lied to the audience. You're right.
So now
Jerk.
now you get to shoot Cheerios.
Wave beam is pretty much the exact same as it was in Metroid. It goes through walls. It's more powerful than the ice beam, but it doesn't freeze enemies, so honestly, it's a column A or column B for you. But unlike Metroid 1, that is not the only beam that Metroid 2 brings to the table. Metroid 2, despite being what's considered the black sheep of the series, if only because it was released on the Game Boy and not on a console, and it's just not considered as popular as, say, the likes of Super Metroid or Metroid Fusion or Zero Mission, Primes.
I think it's only because of the... I do think it's also because of its choice of,
The system?
Yeah, because black and white thing is honestly kind of killing some of the buzz for me here.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's your what are you guys' standpoint on a game sequel being released on a handheld when it started on a console?
That normally wouldn't bother me at all. There's no conceptual answer for that. It's all totality of the circumstances.
Yeah.
Because Link's Awakening was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's very true, very true. But to make the second game in the series, it's kind of like Chain of Memories for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But like I said, I judge on a case-by-case circumstance. What may have worked for Chain of Memories isn't going to be hold up true for something like Metroid.
I don't remember
almost said Samus.
I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head. I don't remember how well the original Metroid.
No, but you just asked us for like personal opinion as opposed to regular.
No. I'm just bringing it up for the sake of discussion.
Oh.
I don't remember how well the original Metroid sold on the NES, and
I got a sequel well enough.
Very true, and I'm thinking they probably released it just to capitalize on the enormous success that was the Game Boy. I mean, even to this day, besides I think the Nintendo DS finally trumped it, but the Game Boy was the most successful handheld ever.
Duh, gaming on the go in the 90s, you bet your ass it was.
Monochrome screen and all. Then again, that didn't really matter when you were playing it out in daylight. But damn, I look back, you know, not so much with the Game Boy, but with the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, that screen's fucking dark. I don't remember the screen being that dark in my childhood.
What, the screen itself?
The Game Boy Color screen and Game Boy Advance
Yeah,
screen.
it was. It was always that dark. That's why you always had to have a freaking light fixture next to you whenever you played.
I just don't remember that being
You also
that
didn't remember Star Fox being as slow as it was.
That's true, too. Good point, good point.
Nostalgia is a good way to lie to us all.
Even in
Ourselves.
eyesight.
No, it's nostalgia and hindsight.
No, I said eyesight.
Oh. I like how you're just stomping on all the missiles there and not blowing yourself up in the process. But see, this here's that kind of shit I couldn't stand about some games. Like, you're just doing this because you memorize it, right? There's not like an item that tells you where all the hidden walls and shit are?
No.
So you have to fucking know ahead of time where to go to look at all this shit, especially
Yeah.
when everything looks similar.
Metroid 2 still has that problem with Metroid 1. Not to an extreme as Metroid 1, but it still
I
gets,
think it's actually just as bad.
it
Because
gets
everywhere
pretty...
looks the same.
I was just about to say, it still gets pretty bad with copying, pasting, and it just being vague. You know, assuming you're not...
I don't mind vagueness, but I would like something that actually tells me something where something is.
Like
for example,
a visual cue.
like Metroidvanias, for example. Like, eventually, you may have a huge castle to explore, but eventually you're going to find tools and stuff that'll help you to look through it. I'm not going to see that with this game here, because I know it's not going to be until, like, Metroid 3, Super Metroid, when we eventually get the idea to, given, like, an X-ray monitor or X-ray vision stuff to help us find the hidden missiles and shit that nobody would think to look for them in,
Well,
in walls.
Super Metroid also had a map. Metroid 2 and the original do not.
No, I'm saying is that even with a map or something like that, would you really, I mean,
I think
now,
having a map helps you get the idea to keep exploring.
No. Let me finish. What I'm saying is that prior to like the X-ray scope, would you have had the idea to shoot a freaking one little pebble in the middle of on the ceiling, nonetheless, in one of the first rooms in the game?
We talking Super Metroid was your first game?
Yeah.
No.
Right. It's kind of like that though. I mean, even if it's your first time at it.
No, I'm saying if you're like a Metroid guy, say you play Super Metroid after you played Metroid 1 and 2, you got that idea by now, definitely.
Right.
But for a first timer, yeah, that's exactly why they gave you the X-ray scope.
I'm grateful for that. So no,
I tell us to do an acapella, but I don't know what the hell we would sing. Because I don't. Metroid 2's soundtrack just doesn't catch onto my ears as the original.
There's a soundtrack?
There is a soundtrack, believe it or not.
2 tracks.
Yeah, the title screen being one of them.
Yeah, that's another thing that's about the title screen. You know, it's not just beeps and boops that we heard in the beginning. There is actually music to it, but you gotta wait like 2 minutes for to hear it.
Jesus.
And yeah, it's such an odd sound design in this game. They really were trying to go for the ambience, but 8-bit, it's all beeps and boops and.
I honestly could not see myself playing this without a Super Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color, just so like I can make, like the Super Game Boy I meant to say. Just so I can create my own colors and create my own little idea of what my world is like.
I don't know anybody that had played Metroid 2 as their first. And the only
people's experience was Super Metroid.
Yeah, Super Metroid was a lot of people's first. People that I know anyway. And to me, I only think Metroid enthusiasts will get a kick out of Metroid 2. Even though, like, if you look past it as a Metroid game, I still think it's a pretty good Game Boy game for what it does and what it, how.
But this is a Metroid game. We can't look at it like it's not.
No, if I'm not holding it up to Metroid standards, as a Metroid standards, this is one of my least favorite games in the series. But if you look at it as just a Game Boy game.
I don't know, that's a slippery slope there, because then I could go, well, Sonic Labyrinth doesn't look like a Sonic game, so I can't judge it as a Sonic game.
Not the point I was making, but I'm just talking about just the quality of the game itself. Because even if you don't, because I personally believe, just use your Sonic Labyrinth example, that if you don't look at it as a Sonic game, it's still a pretty bad game.
But we can excuse it for this one?
Because this is a fine game.
Okay. The shit don't stink argument. Gotcha.
Not at all, Matt.
Meanwhile, I hate how the wave beam just goes right through those fucking guys, because there's just waves.
Yeah, because it goes in, woo! No, we'll be soon switching out the wave beam for something else much better.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
the color?
Oh,
Oh shit.
Oh
it
shit,
has
this one looks
evolved.
nasty.
This is a Gamma Metroid. Strategies, nothing really different. I mean, it's bigger, but that also makes it a bigger target for you.
It's also a little more aggressive at least.
Yes, it's much more aggressive. It has this little lightning bolt attack right there. But besides that, not much different. You'll get hurt more, maybe by 1 or 2 attacks, if only because of its bigger hitbox. But again, the bigger hitbox means it's also easier for you to hit. I think it takes about 3 to 4 missiles more than Alpha Metroid.
But now I got like 100, so what's that matter?
Yeah, because if you're going for 100% like I am, missiles won't be an issue until late game, where I hope you know where your recharge stations are and plan out accordingly. Otherwise, you might have to find yourself doing some backtracking, which is not fun in Metroid 2. It's not in hindsight. It doesn't take very long at all, but you know, when you just want to go through one area on your first go without having to go backwards because you're running on empty. You know, it's a bit annoying. Not a game breaker, just a little annoying. But yeah, this area right here is pretty much you go down the vertical shaft, and then it branches left and right. Pretty much what you want to do is you want to explore everything to the left, and then go all the way back and explore everything to the right, and then climb back up the vertical shaft to go back into the main hub area. That's what I call it anyway, because you know that's where you have to go to see where the lava level's at. And this is what a lot of areas break down to, folks. It's
Sand?
going into no, not the sand. This is exclusive to this area. Well, until we get into a later area. You know, it's a matter of going down the next level in the main hub area. Then you go down the vertical shaft, go to the branching left path, go back to the center of the vertical shaft, go to the right branching path, and then an earthquake will occur. You backtrack to the main hub area, and then go to the new area that's now exposed, such as what's happening right now. So now we got an earthquake. That means we are ready to go into the next area. That's how Metroid 2 breaks down, folks.
So just rinse, rather repeat.
Yeah,
Well,
It
to be
would
fair,
be-
the mission
it would- it
fits,
wouldn't
it fits
be-
right in line with the mission of destroy all the Metroids.
yeah. Your mission, you know what you're getting into the moment you get into the game. Is you got the instruction manual, of course. Because out of context, you know, since Metroid 2 doesn't have an introduction screen, unlike Metroid 1, which gave you some sort of mission statement if you let it on the title screen for a little bit. Metroid 2, as soon as you press start, smacks you right on the planet with Samus' new spaceship, which is introduced in this game.
Well, you can also create your own context as well. Again,
But what would
I
be?
mean, like
what
I
would-
said,
let's say hypothetically that you started this game, you had no
with no
context.
instruction manual.
Well, no, so let's just say you never played a Metroid game, never even heard of Metroid. For all you know, Metroid is the person we're controlling right now, who can't crawl. But what would be your context?
If I had just seen this
Yeah, if you just just played it on a whim.
on a whim,
Yeah,
I'm here to destroy monsters. Here's some monsters, kill their ass. I can sum it up.
and that's for a lot of people. That's pretty much all they need.